Shall we talk Feng Shui?
Yes, please.
With the Feng Shui, there is just one thing I want to show you before we go forward into the information, because we're all a practical lot. I'm picking up my phone. I'm going to show you something. So on your phone, whether you have an iPhone or you have an Android phone, what I'd like you to do is to bring up the compass. You can do it now or you can do it afterwards. So on your phone, there'll be a compass. It will show you where the directions are. I just want to very, very quickly show you how to use the compass, because otherwise that you might get into a bit of a tiz-was with the directions and areas and stuff. So here's what you do when you're going to look at the information and use it, is you're literally going to hold your phone, your compass, and put it down in the center of your home or the center of your office or your workplace, and then just leave it there and let it show you which way is north and which way is south and which way everything is. Okay, and don't get too intellectual about this. This is a really simple thing. Don't overthink it. The reason why we use a compass every time rather than just looking at the sun is because the earth has gravity, magnetism, geologically has lots of different things going on which affect the compass reading. So that's why we want to use the compass readings, not the sun out there necessarily. Just put your compass down and then let it show you which way is north. So for me, north is this way. And if your compass only shows north, it's okay. You literally just go like this. So north is this way for me. You just literally just do this, put out the other arm, and suddenly you know where south is. Then you turn at right angles, and now you know north, east, south, west. And then you know how to orientate your house and where each area of your house is. Feng Shui for 2023. We're very lucky, guys. We're very, very lucky because this year something unusual is happening. We not only have a main wealth sector that is to help money come in, land deals, you do the activities there that will literally make you money. So for me, the sorts of things we're talking about is if you're a blogger or blogging is important part of you getting clients and therefore getting money, you might go and post your blogs and write your blogs from that area. Making calls, actually talking to clients, meeting with them, this area. The area is the south, by the way. Okay, so if you're looking at your compasses, listen to me still. So in the south,
I wanted to precise. So what you've just mentioned, blogging is to do it in the south.
Yeah, the south is about bringing the cash in. Remember this year, it's really important to look after your cash flow. Is often called the wealth sector. Okay, so any activities that make you money and are designed to directly make you money, that's where you do them from, the south. So for somebody, blogging might not actually be about money. It might be just about the tribe and the community, etc. In which case, it's fine to do it in the south, but there'll be other areas for that. So south is about the stuff that makes you money. If we simplify that right down, it's the calls, it's the emails, it's the conversations, the contract writing, if you do stuff like that. All of that is in the south. It is the wealth sector. And before you do any of your activities there, there's a step that comes before that, and it's really, really important. And I can't stress this. I would like you to work out where your south is. Do it this month in January, if you're listening to this as this video is being released. If it's partway through the year, just do it when you can. Do it as quickly as possible because we're already in 2023. But the 2023 energy doesn't start until early February. So in January, look at your south, find out where it is, and just make sure that the south looks and feels happy in terms of atmosphere, the vibe, how it looks, how it feels. So that's simple things like, is it clear of clutter? Is it open? Is it light? Does it feel like an area that feels good to be in? These are simple questions that, without knowing Feng Shui, will help you create a good wealth sector. Obviously, if you come and work with me, I will do it to a whole new level. We'll be able to pinpoint specific things. By the way, you don't have to redo your house, knock down walls, bring in the diggers and the builders and do a painting party and rip down wallpaper and stuff to make your wealth sector work. I have to say to you, more often than not, when I go into somebody's home, I make small suggestions and suddenly the flow opens up. It's uncanny. So really pay attention. What's in your south? What does it tell you about you? What does it say? But really think about what everything says, basically. So I basically have a sofa. I have this picture. I have this cushion. And my beautiful cat comes and sits here quite often. You want your south to be active in a good way. And the best way for it to be active in a good way is generating wealth for you. So you go into the south, sit there and activate it. You don't have to be sat there all the time. If the south it's not appropriate for you to have an office or a desk, which my south isn't. It's got a sofa. It's where people come in and visit me. Then you just do important activities there, such as this recording. The rest of the time, I go off into my office. So that's the south. The reason I said 2023 is a really, really special year is because we're at this end of this chapter, which means we're accessing positive energy from the current chapter, but we also can access the positive wealth energy from the next chapter because it's close enough. So we can access the wealth sector in both chapters this year, just this year. Isn't that incredible and exciting? So if for some reason the south doesn't work, you've got a bathroom there or whatever reason, okay, then the other wealth sector, the secondary wealth sector this year is the north, which is where I've got my desk because the north is more powerful for me. If you can't put a desk there, you can still sit there for half an hour and make some calls. If you can't even do that, then just do it with your office. Figure out where the south and north is in your office and start using those two sectors. And they are the two most important sectors to work with this year. If you are not sure, by all means, contact me. I'll be more than happy to work with you in a small way just to clarify something. If your means are smaller, or to, in a more meaningful way, to look at other things and to go deeper. The other sectors that I would really like to tell you about for this year, and I'm calling them sectors because they're areas in your home, okay, they're not directions, etc., are the northwest, the west and the east. The reason why I want to talk about these three areas is, remember, health is still a big deal in 2023. If your health is even a little bit fragile in any way, shape or form, I would really like you to steer clear of the northwest. That means make sure you don't sleep in the northwest, or you don't necessarily do really meaningful activities. Don't put your bed in the northwest if your health is fragile.
So let's say if somebody has fragile health and they bedroom is in north or northeast, right? Northwest. Okay, so what can they do?
So if your
you suggest to find another way where to sleep?
Yeah. So if you can move to another bedroom, that's the ideal solution. Or maybe you're lucky enough to live in an apartment, in which case maybe move your lounge into that room and your bedroom into that room. If you can't do that, because what you would do is you would move your bed to one of the wealth sectors, because remember, wealth is about abundance, and true wealth is not just finances, it's your whole life is in abundance. This year in 2023, northwest, west and east, these three areas, ideally don't locate any important activities from these areas. So let's be really clear about what do I mean by important life activities. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, you wouldn't put your desk in one of those areas. If, however, you go out to work in a company and your office, your work is out there, then by all means have a desk in one of those areas. Do you see what I mean? You've really got to use the filter of common sense alongside all of this. For example, I have got an armchair in the Northwest. Somebody gets to sit in the Northwest, and that's a negative area for the year. That's not a problem. So if I have somebody visit me, then it's okay if I sit there or they sit there, because it's a short interaction.
But it's negative area for important stuff, right?
Yes,
if you want to read a book, it's fine.
That's
okay. It seems to me so that my desk currently where I am and is in the east.
It might be. I'd need to check on that.
Yeah,
but what I want to say with you, Inga, is when we do your feng shui, we go into a much deeper layer.
Yeah, because we all have also like a personal, right?
Yeah.
But for the sake of the modeling situation, right?
Yes.
So let's say I can guarantee you, even if it turns out that this is not a good sector for me, I am so unwilling to move anywhere, and I will explain why. So I put like an effort and money in make a background for video creation, and intuitively and energetically, I feel really good in this spot. I don't always work here, but like for doing sessions or recording videos, I use this spot. So, and I would be unwilling to move despite all of it. So I guess here is this common sense plus intuition.
And also with you, Inga, we've looked at we've done a full consultation.
Yeah.
And so we happen to know that area actually in your personal chart, you link to the east powerfully. So you're drawn to the east. So at the moment, I'm talking about the energy of the year, and I'm placing it over the chart of a house and saying this is what each area is. When we do a feng shui consultation for an individual, rather than a video for everybody, we go deeper and we look at their personal chart and we say, okay, what energies are showing up in your chart and how do they map out over your house or over your workspace? And where are the things more powerful? So there's deeper layers that we can go to. And that's why it's okay for you to sit where you are, and also why you feel such a strong affinity to it as well.
But it's probably true for anyone else. If you feel that it's like your spot, right? I was drawn to this spot, I don't know, from the moment I moved in here. So it might be that energetically you are compatible with the space.
Shall we just summarize these areas very quickly? First of all, we have two wealth sectors this year. We have the wealth sector from the current chapter, which is in the south. That means that money is a little bit closer and a little bit more easily accessible. And then we have the wealth sector from the next chapter, which is in the north. My suggestion to you guys is, why limit yourself? Use them both. And don't just use them in your home or your office. Use them wherever you can. Let's say you're meeting a client in a cafe, a potential client. Get there a few minutes early. Sit yourself in the south or the north.
I have a question. So when you say sit, is it facing north or sitting, let's say this is north and it doesn't matter which direction I'm facing?
Got it. Great question. Just like we did with your house just now, you get your compass, you walk into the middle of the cafe and you just hold your compass or you put it down on the table and you just look at it and you say, oh, that's the north over. I can sit on or any one of those tables over there. Well, there's the south. I can sit on any one of those tables in that area.
Face either direction, right?
Face whatever way you like, because you're sitting in that area, in that building. So that was the north and the south. They're good. Use them. If you have kids, when they're doing their homework, sit them in the north or the south of their room, because that's their career too. Go to share this information as widely as you can, because remember, this is environmental information. If you're doing well, you're making this world a better place for me too. We have a vested interest in sharing this. This is not the sort of information you keep to yourself like this. Then we have the northwest, okay? Just if your health is fragile in any way, okay, or anybody in your family, you don't want them to be sleeping or spending a lot of time in the northwest. And then finally, if your health is, and by the way, if your health is fine, don't worry about that. You're good. You can use it. You can sleep there. And then finally, try not to do any important business or important life activities based from the northwest, the west, and the east. If you follow that 5-pronged strategy, and I'm putting up my hand for a very good reason, you will have a handle on 2023. 2023 is yours. It's in your grasp. This final part is very, very exciting, because we're going to do some feng shui live. We're going to do something very, very special. It's so powerful. It's unbelievable. And the results from it can be quite far reaching. It's called an activation of energy. There are different ways that you can activate energy in your environment, your world, your life. We're going to do one particular way, and this one is for creativity. So my invitation to you is to sit down, first of all, and set an intention. How can creativity be beneficial to you in your business? Where do you feel blocked, for example, or where do you want to create openings towards and you're not sure how to get from here to that audience? Here being you and your products and services, and that being a particular market or audience. It could be creativity in terms of expansion. It could be creativity in terms of innovation of your products, services. It could be any type of creativity, right down to, I want to make a baby. Right? A baby as in a metaphorical baby, a product, or a baby as in a child. Look at the wide description of creativity. What we're going to do is we are going to use a system called directionology, just in case anybody wants to know what it is and likes the technical information. And what you're going to do is, first of all, you are going to mark out the 21st of January 2023 in your diary. That day, any time in that day works for this, by the way. Here's what you do. On the 21st of January, you've already thought up your intentions beforehand, either as into what you want or what feels blocked, etc. What is a problem that you're working on that needs a solution, which obviously requires creativity and innovation. And by the way, you don't need to limit yourself. Your intention needs to be very pure in signal. So if you're the sort of person who will be more powerful focusing on one big thing, do that. If, however, you're somebody who meditates for a living, works in the spiritual world, etc., and I know there's a lot of spiritual people that get drawn to these podcasts and videos, then don't limit yourself. Make it more than one. Creativity is abundance, by the way, in manifestation. So what you're going to do is, on the 21st of January, you've already got your intention. Make sure you're sitting in a undisturbed space in your house, a particular room, or if you have the whole house to yourself, you can use the whole house. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to find the southeast area in your house. Go and sit yourself very comfortably in the southeast. Don't perch one bum on the side of the bath and think you're going to activate great energies from being so uncomfortable and numb one side of your bum cheek. That's not going to happen. So make yourself really, really comfortable, warm enough, etc. And then what I would like you to do is get yourself into what I call sage mode, or into a really relaxed, peaceful, contentful space. A space where your heart goes like this, your heart energy, and you feel light, and you feel bright, and you feel unconcerned by anything around you, any thoughts. Different people do this in different ways. You use whatever method works for you. If it's yoga, do yoga. If it's dancing, do dancing. If it's meditation, do meditation. If it's counting backwards from 64 to 1, do it. If it's a breath work exercise, do it. You know what works for you. So get yourself into the right state. You've got your intention in front of you. You're sat in the right area. You can face any direction. If you want to make it really advanced, your back will be to the southeast, which means your front is facing to the northwest, within the southeast area. But if that's too much, no problem. It will still work. Just sit in the southeast part of your home or the room that you're in. And then I want you to, once you've got yourself into that right, good state, that clear state, then what you're going to do is you are going to intend yourself connecting with the divine energy of creativity in the universe. So you want to imagine your energy is expanding out, and you are connecting to wherever the energy of creativity is, in the heart of creativity is in the universe. Like such a strong connection, it's unbelievable. You allow it to flow into your life, into your body, into your heart, into your system, and to fill you and your world, your mind, your soul. And from that space, you send a simple command out into the universe, a simple instruction, and you say very, very clearly, I command and I receive and I connect with the energy of creativity to resolve this particular issue. And then you say what that looks like once you've received it. And I want you to focus your energy on what it feels like when the answer has arrived. How does that feel? Now, I can tell you when my creative juices are flowing, I feel quite hyper. I feel quite excited. I do not look like a wise woman when I'm fully in my creative juices. I look more like a 5-year-old child. This is the truth. And that's where you need to tap into. So you're going to feel what it feels like, the sense of relief and joy when the solution has arrived. You're going to feel the feeling of magnificence when you connect with that audience. You're going to feel the feeling of however it feels for you when the creativity comes through, the answers are there, and suddenly you've got all these ideas and clarity of thought. You can make decisions like that, and you know intuitively that it's the right answer. You just know, yeah, it's going to happen. This time it's going to happen, I feel it. And then don't forget to ask the universe for a really clear signal that you absolutely understand, that shows you the answer is here or it's on its way.
I want to ask questions. It can be more than one.
Yes.
And it doesn't need to be a problem per se, but it can be, let's say I have a wish and I'm just asking a question to get answers how to make that wish happen.
Yes.
Right? So it doesn't need to be a challenge or problem.
No, but I'm so glad you're asking that question. But just remember, if you make it too vague, how will you know when it's arrived? So
no, I understand that, but
you've got to make it something that's actually something that you'll know when you have got it. It's got to be that recognizable.
Okay, so for instance, if I want to attract 500 people to Magical Creators live event, I can use this activation for this purpose.
Yes.
And so what would I ask for a clear sign that I'm getting the answer?
So remember, it's up to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
We don't try and control the universe
Sure.
to tell us in its own way and show us a sign. What I do, though, is I always say, make sure it's a sign that I will absolutely recognize it as a sign 100% when it arrives.
And the time framework, do we say, give me the answer by?
You can do. This is entirely up to you. I used to say within 24 hours or 48 hours. I don't do that anymore. And I'll tell you why, because usually what I've asked for has manifested in that time. So these days I just ask for a sign, and I know the universe is going to send me the sign or the actual thing very, very quickly. So it's up to you. Remember, you've got to work with who you are. And if it feels better for you to ask for a sign within a certain time frame, by all means do so.
Okay. And so let's imagine somebody is watching it or come across this video after 21st of January. How would we know, or do people need to reach out to you, book a session with you to get the dates, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Date selection is a very, very powerful tool. I don't do any important activity without it. There's an awful lot of flexibility in it. And power. So yes, absolutely. Contact me.
Excellent. Okay. So I would love to hear the manifestation results. You know, when you try this, I will try myself and I will post in the comments, but I would love to hear from you who are watching this video. Come back and report on progress.
Yes, please. Absolutely. And Inga and I, if you're listening to this before the 13th of March, I'm going to be doing a masterclass with Inga. We're going to go and do some really meaty stuff. By all means, send questions to Inga before then, because if it's something that's relevant or feels important enough, I will absolutely try and address it.
Absolutely.
And obviously you need to come to the masterclass for so many reasons. You can ask questions live there too.
Thank you so much, Kurly, and make sure that you have subscribed to the channel and find Kurly on social media, and we will provide ways how you can contact Kurly and book individual session, because knowing your personal data, knowing what works for you is so empowering. You can tap and tweak little details to have such an expansive result in the end.
It's been such a pleasure doing this. I love the people that are drawn to you, Inga, and your business. They are amazing. It's such a pleasure to help you guys listening to this.
Thank you.